Russia-Ukraine War. List of key events, Day 416. As the Russia-Ukraine War enters its 416th day, we take a look at the main developments. 8 people, including a toddler, were killed after Russian shells hit an apartment block in the eastern Ukrainian city of Sloviansk. More than a dozen residents were hurt. The United Kingdom Ministry of Defense said Russia had re-energized its efforts in Bakhmut thanks to better relations between the army and the mercenary Wagner Group. Ukraine was still holding western districts of the town but had been subjected to particularly intense Russian artillery fire, it added. Russia's special forces have suffered significant losses in the war in Ukraine, leaked U.S. military documents show. Ukraine will test and use any non-banned weapons to liberate its territory, including Russian-occupied Crimea, the head of its National Security and Defense Council said. Diplomacy. In talks in Beijing, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and Chinese President Xi Jinping agreed on the need for a negotiated settlement to end the war in Ukraine. Also in Beijing, German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock urged China to pressure Moscow to end its invasion of Ukraine's span, saying no other country had more influence on Russia. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres wrote to Russia, Ukraine and Turkey to raise concerns about the implementation of a deal that allows the safe wartime export of grain from several Ukrainian Black Sea ports. Finland, which joined NATO last week, unveiled the first section of a fence it is building on its border with Russia. The Pentagon announced U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin will meet his Swedish and German counterparts next week and host a Ukraine-related defense meeting with nearly 50 countries. Weapons. The 8 Leopard 2 tanks Canada promised to Ukraine arrived in neighboring Poland, according to Defense Minister Anita Anand. The Danish Defense Ministry said Ukraine would receive 19 French-made Caesar howitzer artillery systems within the coming weeks. China has approved the incremental provision of military equipment to Russia and wanted it kept secret, according to leaked U.S. military intelligence based on Russian intercepts. Foreign Minister Qin Gang said China would not sell weapons to either Russia or Ukraine to use in the war. A senior advisor in President Volodymyr Zelensky's office said Ukrainian forces said were finding China-made components in Russian weapons used on the battlefield.